This is my friend and mentor, Jen Moyer, and we work together with SuperPatch, and we're going to tell you all about it.
Okay, hello everyone. That's me. So a little bit about me. My name is Jen Moyer. I'm a personal trainer, a chair fitness instructor, which is a lot of fun. Anybody hasn't ever tried that.
Yeah.
An active aging coach, touches on some fitness and nutrition, as well as a senior mobility specialist. Fitness is my passion. I began my fitness journey in 1984, a long time ago. I was just a wee baby, as a fitness instructor at the YMCA.
Did you do those YMCA dances while you were there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
There we go. Oh. And then in 2014, both of my parents lost their mobility. Went from being independent, loving life, and my mother had a stroke in the January. My father developed a condition called Charcot foot, which is a very debilitating disease. And, there's my mom in her wheelchair, my dad with his big boots on. And
there's you screaming for help.
Yeah. Well, I get so passionate about fall prevention now since both of my parents, because my dad had a lot of falls. But after learning so much about mobility through my parents' journey, my passion for helping older adults stay mobile grew. And in 2016, I started my business, 50 After 50, helping make the second 50 the best 50 years of your life through mobility and active aging.
Yeah.
Did you know, and probably most people understand, that falls are can be the beginning to the end, right?
Yeah.
So
many times they are, not can be. Many times they are the beginning to the end.
Yeah. Falls are the leading cause of injury for adults over 65. 14 million, or 1 in 4 adults, report falling every year. So that's reported it, right?
Right.
What about the ones that aren't reported?
Many ones are not going to tell anybody.
Mm-hmm. And here where we are located in 2020, Florida alone, there were over 1 million falls reported by older adults over 65. So in my opinion, prevention's the key. Don't wait till you fall. So many times I speak to older adults or seniors and they say, oh, I have no problem with balance. I've never fallen. Yeah. Well, don't fall.
Right.
Don't wait till you fall to do something about it. So prevention's the key.
And don't think anybody can fall.
Yeah.
But there are things we can do to prevent the fall.
Right. Exactly. Hip fractures are the most common type of fall injury among seniors. And about 20% of injury-related deaths among seniors can be traced back to a fall.
And I don't even know what the stats are about. Many times you fall, and then you're back in the hospital again 2 weeks later because you have a second fall.
Right, right. And then what happens is you live with the fear of falling.
Yeah.
Right?
And so many people then don't live.
Yeah, and they stop being mobile. They don't want to get up. They don't want to go for walks anymore.
Yeah.
Some of the factors that can increase your risk of falling are poor balance, decreased muscle and bone strength. Okay.
Yeah.
So as we age, we start to atrophy. We start to lose our muscles. So making sure you have enough protein in your diet is key.
Yeah.
Reduced vision or hearing, and unsafe conditions around your home. That's what I want to talk about today before we get into the SuperPatch.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing about tips in the home. Thank God we don't have extension cords anymore.
Yeah. Yes.
Today there's a lot of Bluetooth and there's a lot of those extension cords. I can't tell you how many people got taken down from those extension cords.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you do have any, get rid of them.
Yeah. And also corded phones. I don't think we have a lot of those anymore, but they used to be a hazard as well.
Yeah.
So tips to keep your home safe. So number 1, in the bathroom. All right. A rubber mat for the tub or shower. Install the mat when the tub is dry. All right. But also sometimes if you have a tub and you have a square mat,
Yeah.
it's not long enough. So it's really important to have a long one that fills the bottom of the tub.
And you know what someone told me recently? They took one of those rubber mats and also put it outside the tub.
Oh, that's a great
And
idea.
I had never thought of that before. So now when you get out of the tub, you're on a mat, but it's sticking to the floor.
Exactly. Grab bars.
Yes.
Grab bars are heaven, right? Put them by the toilet, put them by the bathtub, going outside your door.
And never get grab bars that are the suction ones.
No, they don't hold.
You'll have a fall.
Yeah.
You'll have a fall.
Yeah.
And know that today you can get the prettiest and the fanciest kind of grab bars. I mean, they have grab bars that come from Italy.
Yeah,
so don't use that, because there are people that use that as an excuse. Oh, it's going to make my bathroom look bad.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use a bath seat in the shower and a raised toilet seat if you need it.
Yeah.
And wipe up any moisture or spills that, the bathroom is full of water and whatever, and we're always dripping, and that becomes so slippery.
Yeah.
It can be such a hazard.
Yeah.
In the living room and bedroom. Now, reduce clutter. So get rid of those loose wires, the extension cords, other obstacles. Sometimes, we just drop a pile of books here and things like that.
Yep.
Try to keep
pile of clothes.
Yeah. Try to keep the clutter off the floor.
And I'll tell you, one of my caregivers recently fell over pillows.
Yeah.
So they took the bed pillows off, or they must have had decorative pillows.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take them off at night, put them on a chair or put them in a corner somewhere. Just don't toss them off your bed, because a pillow can make you fall too.
Yeah. It might be a soft landing,
but yeah.
And have good lighting throughout the house and install night lights. And I just heard
Cindy and Christina.
Yep, talking about these under the bed motion sensor lights. I know you've got great lights in your home, Linda. I love the toilet one.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you have to get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, the last thing you want to do is have to put the big light on.
Yeah.
Because then you're wide awake.
Yeah.
Get rid of scatter mats or make them non-slip. So this example here has like a rubber backing that you put between the floor and your mat.
Oh, okay. Right?
So it doesn't slip. Or these mats here on the left side, I really love, because it's all in one. And when you lay that down, that is not moving anymore.
Yeah.
In the kitchen, really, really important to store pots and pans in a lower cupboard. So you're not trying to reach up, pull down something heavy out of the cupboard.
And I think we need to think about that in the kitchen too. The lower ones can make, the low cupboards can make an issue too. Because you're bending over, you're trying to get in there.
Right.
So you might have to rearrange your kitchen as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to change some of the places where you had the pots and pans before, so that they're more at your height. So you're not reaching up too far and you're not bending down too far. Because I've had caregivers fall down, bending down, trying to feed their cat or their dog.
Yeah. These things are awesome. And I'm sure the ladies have suggestions for those as well. But a step stool, if you're short like I am, I always use a step stool. And I love this one because it has a handle for support.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
And the most important thing is ask for help if you're feeling uneasy about a task that you need done, right?
And it's okay to do it differently. So when I go to the supermarket now, it's hard for me to lift a case of water.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to lift a case of water. So I have to know when I come home, unless there's someone there to help me with it, I cut it open and I take 5 bottles in. And I come back out and I take 5 bottles in. And I don't mind doing that at all, because I don't want to fall.
Yeah.
So if you don't have someone that's available to help you, just wait till the next day and ask a neighbor or something, or just do it in small steps.
Yeah, take a bag out there.
Just put a couple in, yeah. Then you get your steps in too.
Yeah, that's right. In 2016, I was introduced to something very new, a non-invasive, drug-free way to reduce the risk of falling by 8 times.
8 times.
I was blown away. As a person that works with seniors, older people, trying to help them, build a little more muscle, doing exercises that help with balance. When I was introduced to this product,
everything changed.
Yeah, I was blown away. The SuperPatch company.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so we're going to watch just a little video that really explains.
On average, it covers about 21 square feet. Bigger than a typical door frame. It comprises 15% of your body weight and contains 11 miles of blood vessels. I'm talking about the biggest organ in the human body, your skin. And now, the SuperPatch company is unlocking the superpowers of human skin. Your skin protects you from invaders like germs, helps you regulate your body temperature, and allows you to feel tactile sensations like hot, cold, rough, and soft. In fact, the Nobel Prize was awarded to a couple of doctors who unlocked the secrets of our body's sense of touch and temperature. Imagine you have a tiny team of workers inside your body. When your skin experiences something hot or cold, or something touches your skin, these workers send messages to your brain telling you what's happening. They're called ion channels, and these sensors are the key to a new cutting-edge technology utilized by the SuperPatch company. This elegant and effective technology has gone through clinical studies, and the amazing results have been published in peer-reviewed science journals. And their benefits are game-changing. For example, let's talk about pain. The Freedom SuperPatch focuses on pain management. Users of the patch reported a 72% reduction in pain within minutes, and the relief lasts for 24 hours. Here's how this amazing technology works. It's well known that our minds regulate our physiology. The autonomic nervous system and other neural networks, much like computer programs in our mind, control every aspect of our physical lives, from our heart and breathing rates to sleep and pain. But these networks can become dysfunctional or damaged due to factors like illness, stress, injury, or the environment. And when your neural networks stop working optimally, it can affect every aspect of your health. So to utilize these neural pathways, those ion channels, the SuperPatch company has been developing skin stimulation technology for more than 12 years. It's called Haptic Vibrotactile Trigger Technology, or VTT. Each SuperPatch contains very fine ridges that stimulate receptors in your skin. Think of them as braille for the brain. And the unique patterns of these ridges help reboot a specific neural program. When these ridges touch the skin, the stimulation starts instantly correcting those neural programs, essentially rewiring your brain. We're talking about life-changing benefits. For example, more than 50 million Americans have sleep disorders. And according to the National Institute of Health, Insufficient sleep is estimated to have a negative annual impact on the U.S. economy of more than $400 billion. Studies have shown that people who wear the REM SuperPatch for 2 weeks fall asleep 48% faster and get almost 25% more sleep at night. Every year, more than 36 million falls are reported among older Americans, and studies show that balance is the most reliable biomarker for longevity. In other words, if you have good balance and stability, the more likely you are to live longer. Studies on the Liberty SuperPatch reveal that it can improve balance and stability by more than 30%. This is all done without drugs, electronic stimulation, or therapies. Most importantly, the patches are safe and easy to use. 100% drug and chemical free. No ingredients or supplements, and there are no contraindications or side effects. It's great to be active. It's even better to be proactive. The SuperPatch, backed by research, proven by science.
Okay, we're good. So I think that's a pretty amazing video, because I'll tell you, when I tried to explain these to people, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is. And some people think it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I know I did at first.
Well, right away, their face is like, what?
Mm-hmm.
What just happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then like, what's in this? What's in this?
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a little demonstration that we can do with one of the patches.
Yeah.
That is specific to balance and stability. It works instantly. And doing that demo, the look on people's faces is just mind-blowing, isn't it?
I know. Last night, I did that demonstration on a doctor, and he was like, what? Just like, what? And there was like 10 other people in the room, and they were all watching, and they're all like, what? Mm-hmm. But my biggest fear for my caregivers and their loved ones is over-medication and the fall.
Right. Yeah.
And the fall.
Yeah. So the SuperPatch company has 11 different technologies altogether. We're not going to go through all 11 today, but you can go to sticktoit.info and
go ahead. I'm just seeing there's a question. Go ahead.
Okay. And you can read about all 11 patches.
My folks will sit in a chair. Oh, they sit in a chair when getting into the lower cabinets. That's a good idea. Mm-hmm. That's a really good idea. All right. That's it. Okay.
I gotta close that now.
Yeah. How? Whoop.
I don't know.
I'm just trying to get the cursor over there. There we go.
Okay. Okay. So let's start with, oops, wrong way. Let's start with
during the time when we're doing this, if you have a question or if you have an issue that you're dealing with that you want to talk about, just put it into the chat or the Q&A.
Mm-hmm. First, we're going to talk about the Liberty Patch. The Liberty Patch is specific to balance, stability, strength, and mobility. Yep. Inflammation, better balance, better stability, more strength. Instantly. It takes 7 seconds. Once that patch is applied to the skin, those receptors receive that message. It takes 7 seconds to get to the brain and start working.
Yeah, and people have a hard time figuring it out. So, when we're doing demonstrations on somebody, we'll say, close your eyes and put your hand out. And then we'll put like a pen in their hand and say, what is that? Well, they know it's a pen. They know, they can feel it. It's a pen. And I said, well, how did you know it was a pen? Because it touched your skin, traveled up to your brain, and told your brain there's a pen in your hand.
Right.
So this is the same kind of thing.
And believe me, I have been involved with this technology since 2016.
Yeah.
And I so often have heard someone who's trying the Liberty Patch and they say, well, I don't feel any different. I don't feel any different. They felt the difference when I did the demonstration on them. And what I want to stress to people is you can't feel prevention.
Right.
Right? So prevention is the key. Don't wait until you fall to start doing something about it.
Well, you know what I did about that myself. So I used to fall a lot. I tripped a lot. Like if my dog pulled the leash, I could trip. And I've been wearing the Liberty Patch for 3 years.
Yeah.
And in 3 years, I have not tripped, and none of my shoes are scuffed up. Well, that answers it all.
Yeah, exactly. I use the example of a seatbelt in the car. You put your seatbelt on. You don't feel it saving your life, right?
Right.
But in the right circumstance, it's a lifesaver.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
One of the best messages I ever received was from a lady named Jane. She suffered from Parkinson's. I got a message from her one day and she said, I'm still convinced that the SuperPatch products are helping me. Yesterday, when it was so windy, I was taking some things out of the car when the door blew into me. Normally, I would have lost my balance, but I felt very stable. Yeah. And I have felt that way too.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel stable, right? But not only that, I had started to develop something called neuropathy. Okay.
No fun.
Yeah. So neuropathy can be caused by numerous things. Mine was caused by degenerative disc in my lower back, and my big toes were absolutely numb. You could have put a pin in my toe and I wouldn't have felt a thing. And with my dad's condition, Charcot foot, his condition developed because of neuropathy. And within 3 days of wearing the technology, I got the feeling back in my big toes. And I've had it for 7 years now. I have full feeling in my feet. But my dad also, he had no feeling in either feet. You know, his whole foot was numb. I started wearing this technology on him. Now for him, he had neuropathy for so long, 25 years probably.
Oh, goodness.
So for him, it took about 4 or 5 weeks, but as I'm his caregiver, I have to wash his feet every couple of days. So put his feet in a basin, you know, put some soap in, whatever. And I'm washing his feet. And all of a sudden he goes, oh, and I thought, oh my gosh.
I caught him. I heard him or something.
He says, it tickles. He had feeling. So yeah, you just can't deny when it's stories
you
like
see
that.
It right in front of your face.
Exactly. So that's the Liberty Patch. The next patch is the Freedom Patch. Just like in the video, 74% less pain in minutes, right? So one example that I have is this lady who had knee surgery. This was 3 days after her knee surgery. She did not have the technology at that point, but when she went to have her second knee done, she had the technology. Not only it helped with the pain, it helped with swelling. And we have a study done by an orthopedic surgeon. It took a year to do that study. And at the end of the study, those who were wearing the technology recovered and healed 35% quicker than the ones that didn't.
Yeah, well, I remember a few months back, my stepmother, who's 87, had a hip replacement. That's a big deal. And she's not on any meds, thank you God.
Yeah.
And she was a little leery about trying the patch. And I pulled up the study and I showed it to her and she said, all right, I'll wear the patch. When she went back to see her doctor was just amazed. He said, I'm just amazed at how fast you're recuperating.
Yeah. Sometimes people are resistant, but there's no drugs in it.
Yeah.
There's no chemicals. There's no side effects.
Right.
So it's worth a try.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So the next patch I want to talk about is the Defend patch.
Which I also wear every day.
Yeah, I do too. I have been wearing it every day for 3.5 years since it came out. We have had several people do something called a live
blood analysis.
Blood analysis, yeah. And so as we get older, due to conditions, environmental things,
just aging.
Yeah, yep, exactly. And like the video said, the alarm goes off.
Yep.
The system's shut down. So on the left-hand side here is a live blood analysis without any technology. And within 30 minutes, you can see that the red blood cells are starting to separate. Over here, they become sticky.
Yeah, and then they can't do their job.
That's right. Because red blood cells have to go through capillaries one cell at a time. So if they're all clumped together, you may be getting one here and there. But when they start to separate after 30 minutes, you get better circulation, better oxygen in the body. Now, for me, this is back in 2020.
I remember.
Yeah. I developed some sort of viral infection in my eye, and I called my doctor. That was back in COVID, right? When COVID first started, and I left here to go home. And I was in quarantine, so I couldn't go in and see my doctor. So she prescribed an antibiotic for me because I was so uncomfortable with that. My eye was swollen shut. And when you don't have access to one eye, boy, oh boy.
You get to appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's tiring, you know? So I took those antibiotics for the 7 days, and it started to get better. But as soon as I finished those antibiotics, within 2 days, I call it angry, okay? My eyes started getting angry again. Then we came out with the Defend patch. I put the patch on my arm, and within 2 days, it was almost gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No drugs.
No.
Where someone else might be continuing and continuing and continuing to take an antibiotic.
Right. More and more and more drugs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last patch we're going to talk about today is the REM patch, right? Better sleep. Why do we need good sleep? Well, when you sleep, there are many important processes happening in your body. One is muscle repair, okay? Protein synthesis, which means that your body starts to generate important proteins for the brain, okay? Tissue growth while we're sleeping, and hormone release. Now, if you don't get good sleep, or you get interrupted sleep or restless sleep, all of those processes aren't going to be able to be optimized. Right? Now, I don't consider myself someone that has an issue sleeping. I don't do bad. I like to
but I like some people up all night.
That's right. So for me, here, this is my Fitbit. It tracks my sleep. I score anywhere in the 80s, upper 80s. But when I wear the REM patch, I've gotten up to 93 sleep score. And I can always tell I wake up refreshed, feeling good.
Yeah.
So all of those processes have happened. And
and we know how important, everybody knows what it's like when they don't get enough sleep.
Yeah.
If you're cranky, and not just that, it's not good for your overall health. Our body needs that time to rejuvenate. Our body needs that time to heal. That's what we do at night.
That's right. When our conscious brain is shut down and we're sleeping, the subconscious brain goes to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only with the REM patch can they fall asleep quicker, but they get a better quality of sleep.
Right.
Which is cool when you can see that on the Fitbit.
Yeah.
When you can see I got, oh my goodness, an hour and 40 minutes of REM sleep when normally I get an hour or whatever the number is.
Yep, exactly.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah. I've learned so much about sleep through these patches and doing research.
Yeah.
And doesn't everyone deserve to get a good night's sleep?
Yeah.
So if you would like more information, and I really recommend to people, give it a try. Do some research. go to sticktoit.info, and at the top, there's a tab. It says how it works. If you click on that, you're going to get a detailed description of how this very specific pattern works, and also all of the studies that all of the many, many doctors, including a doctor in your area here, Linda.
Yeah, right.
Doctor
at the VA.
Yep. Dr. Robert Thatcher at the VA hospital did a study for us. And his quote was, the SuperPatch technology is 50 years ahead of its time.
Yeah, I think it is too.
So when a neurologist is making a comment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Jen and I did a show this weekend about SuperPatch, and this woman came over and she said, and we asked if we could do a demonstration. She said, I don't know really, because I have had a headache for, what did she say, a couple months or
Since
something.
September.
Yeah. And she said, oh, okay, I'll try it. And Jen did the demonstration on her, and a couple minutes later, she said, I don't have a headache anymore.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
You know, that other lady couldn't get out of her wheelchair by herself. You patched her, she could get out of her wheelchair by herself. I mean, if you could just have that little tiny improvement, what a difference it could be in your life.
Exactly. So what it's going to do is give your body every opportunity
to do what it needs to do.
To correct all the inconveniences that are going on in our neurology.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So it's 100% drug-free.
Right.
It's non-invasive. So no surgeries.
Nothing down your throat.
No needles.
Right.
It's FDA registered. Okay. So the FDA has checked it out. They have guaranteed that it's a safe product for everyone to use.
Because it can't be FDA approved because it has no drugs in it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So if it's not being ingested, then it doesn't have to be
registered.
Approved. It has to be registered, but it still goes through the process of them, checking it out. So that makes a lot of people feel better.
Yeah.
And if she can do it, so can you. But one of the biggest things, this company is so any questions?
I'm looking.
So this company is so confident that you are going to try the patches. You're going to love the patches. They offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Yes.
So try it for a month. If
for some reason you don't think it worked on you,
you'll get your money back.
So one of our listeners answered, I can't see it, Jen, can you?
Did you mention the Liberty Patch also helps with inflammation? Can you talk to that? You mentioned inflammation.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, it does help with inflammation because it helps with circulation. Okay. So when you have better circulation, you have better inflammation. I've seen people, or you have less inflammation. I have seen swelling in some people's legs go from this big to normal size. I've seen hundreds of those stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you're on Facebook, there's a group on Facebook. What's it called?
It's called
SuperPatch Testimonials.
Yeah.
And how many testimonials are on there? Like 60,000.
Over 60,000 testimonials. So you can click join the group. You'll get approved. There's an approval process because there's so many, scammers and whatever out there. Once you're in the group, there's a little magnifying glass where you can search keywords. So you can search inflammation. You can search neuropathy. You can search disorders and see what people with those disorders, what their experience has been with it.
So another question we have here is, could these help with ADHD? I think they can help with ADHD.
Yep. The focus patch helps with ADHD, helps with focus, staying on task. And again, go into the testimonial group, put in ADHD and see other people's experiences.
Yeah.
I've seen young children, because young children can wear these patches too.
Right.
Any age.
Right.
I've seen young children before and after videos. Okay. And I recall a young girl, her name was Maddie, and her mother had a camera on her, didn't tell her, and sat Maddie at the table. Okay, Maddie, you have to draw a picture for your homework tonight. And she's scribbling like this because her brain's frustrated.
Yeah.
It can't focus.
Yeah. And I don't want to do this.
Yeah. She put the technology on Maddie, and about a half hour later sat her down and said, okay, Maddie, let's do your homework. And she drew a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
A night and day difference.
Yeah.
In
And I'll
30
tell you,
minutes.
the Peace Patch. So me being a caregiver advocate, I unfortunately go to a lot of memorials.
Mm-hmm.
And recently, one of my caregivers had to do a eulogy for her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I love and respect my mom so much. I don't want to blubber and cry through the entire eulogy.
Right.
And I put a peace patch on her like a half hour before the eulogy. And she was good to go. And she goes, and I felt so calm that night.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be able to enjoy my mother's memories and talk to other people and be sitting there crying.
Yeah. I used the peace patch when I was caring for my dad. In those last, I would say 2.5 years, I discovered that when I get stressed and have anxiety, I clench.
Yeah.
I clench my teeth.
You don't even realize it.
I must do it in my sleep too. But, some days my jaw would just be so sore. And I even broke 2 teeth.
Oh.
Okay. Over the 2.5 years, I broke 2 teeth from clenching in my sleep.
Yeah.
I started wearing the peace patch. I stopped clenching.
Yeah.
Right? It feels like a calmness over you.
We have another question here.
How will the patch affect other medications you're taking? It has no contraindication with any other medications.
Because there's no drugs in it.
That's right. That's right. What I have seen, now I'm not sure about those disorders that you mentioned there, like thyroid and whatever. I do know I have seen people get off of insulin and maybe just have to take a pill, or it's lowered their blood sugar. I'm not saying it's going to
make it
fix
perfect.
your diabetes, but it has lowered. So I do suggest if you have something like that, talk to your doctor, tell them you're going to try something new and monitor your medications and your sugar levels. But I've also seen it with blood pressure. This one lady, Doris, she tried everything with her doctor to get her blood pressure down, and she started wearing the technology. It was about a month, and 1 week she had appointments with 3 doctors, her primary care and 2 specialists, and at each 3 appointments her blood pressure was normal. And if you look in the testimonial group, I actually have a video in there with Doris telling her story. She said her doctors were just blown away because they tried everything, every drug, I should say.
Oh, we have another question here. Do you think it can help with tremors?
I have seen it help with tremors. Okay. Now, what I've learned over these 7 years is it depends on what the tremors are caused by, because tremors can be caused by a lot of different things. Now, brings me to a story about Daisy. Okay. Daisy was in the very, very early days. She had MS. She literally, her hands shook like this, right? And she put that tech on, and all of a sudden they calm right down. It wasn't completely gone 100%, but I would say 90%. Without the technology, she would go to try to touch her nose because that's a test the doctor gives you, right? She put the technology on, she went like this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And this company was founded by Jay Dollywall because of his mother who had MS.
Correct. Yeah. His mother was diagnosed with MS when he was 13 years old. The man is brilliant, to say the least.
Yeah.
But she went from diagnosis to wheelchair in 14 months. And as a young boy, it was devastating. Yeah. And so his life mission
to make mom better.
Yep. And little did he know, he's making all moms.
Yeah, mom must be very happy.
Yeah. But when we're talking about disorders and illness and things like that, okay, number one, I want to say every body is different.
Right.
So how your body reacts, how long it takes for you to get all of the benefits from this technology is very, very individual.
Right.
And we will work with you through it. We're always there to answer questions.
Yeah.
My big thing is, please give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to get together with Jen or I, or because we know we have a lot of people in the conference that are out of state, let us know where you are and we can hook you up with someone local to you. Also, December 12th, we'll be having an event in Largo to talk more about super patches and everything they can do. So if any of you are interested in that, just message me at lindaburhans.com and we'll make sure that we get together. All righty. Well, thanks for being with me, Jen.
My pleasure. I always love to talk about SuperPatch.
Yeah. All righty, everybody. Stay tuned. Our next speaker is Sherry Gruden from PACE. And how can PACE help you? And PACE is a very, very fabulous program at no cost that can help caregivers with a variety of things. And they're expanding and they also have openings. And when you see what this program is like, you're just going to be like, oh my goodness, I need to find out more about this.